Welcome my fellow endoskeletons to the spookiest of days. Today myself and my good friends and community members Cody and Mr. Fonts will be judging for amazing Halloween themed ships. They have had just over 3 weeks to design and the time has come to pick a winner for my first ever shipbuilding competition. Just a quick note, since the judges are from the opposite sides of the planet, I've had to record them separately. Hopefully you still enjoy the edit. So without further ado, let's dive into our first ship. Alright, first up we have the Hannibal by Gemelli TV. Very creepy looking spider. What do you think, Cody?
Initial thoughts? Very sharp, quite literally.
It's very much so.
I will say I really like the bolt patterns on this. I think they did a wonderful job, especially with the use of decals here to look like bolts.
Yeah, on the legs, I noticed that. It's very cool. Like, with the lack of mechanical stuff and engineering looking stuff, is made look pretty cool.
Yeah, it almost looks like it hinges.
If we only had micro hinges, we could actually have moving legs.
If only.
So let's open up the cockpit and we'll have a little look inside. Well, actually, I've had a look inside. You jump in and go down.
Let's take a look. Oh, it's actually pretty intuitive. Gotta say, I was thinking it would be way too cramped, but they've actually done quite a good job with this.
Yeah, there's loads of open space inside. I think it's one of the buttons on the right will bring it down, I think. Or I can lower you down.
Let me check. Yep, here's the button here.
And Cody's eaten by the spider.
I've become the spider. I see some quick access to the, looks to be the fuel rate code. Controls and, propellant tanks. So overall, pretty basic stuff, but it's nice to have.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if there was any little holes in from the bottom or the top, but don't think there's anything. Well, let's show
there is one here to change the fuel rod.
Let's show the folks at home what it's like on the inside. So you got all your levers at the front here. You got some buttons from inside. You can just about see the names underneath all the buttons, and the chair and the generator. So super easy there.
Hey, Kenetor.
You've got rod times. Yep.
Look down.
Oh, I see you. So there is a spot.
Yep, gotta change the fuel rod somehow.
Yeah, that's good. Nice that they've thought about how you'd power it up without any power. Gotta have that external access. Now, this little bit off the back, this rangefinder is really cool. Because you can actually align this to a building and have it look like the spider is hanging from the ceiling. So if I align to this, oops, that was badly aligned. There we go. So it would kind of look like this. Let's just shut that. Boop. You'd have like the ceiling or roof of whatever building or platform, and it would just be hanging there ominously, waiting to devour. Very, very creepy. Loving the use for
quite a spooky sight.
The eyes as well. Yeah, it's very, very good. I've really enjoyed the way they've manually placed all the legs as well. I think the back two legs look very manually placed to get the angles right, and it's just looks really good. Good use of decals as well for the striping. And of course the bolt patterns, like you said, and the decals to replicate the bolts there as well.
I think one thing we did gloss over is the use of materials. I love how they use materials to properly get the weight. Something I usually find myself struggling with.
Ah, has it been balanced with different materials?
Yep.
Interesting. Bastium here. Some agitite. What have we got on the bottom? All bastium. Interesting. Just the little tweaks just to get it to fly straight. Not the fastest of ships though, sadly, but it's mostly for the design looks, and it does fly, so it does fit the brief of having a flyable ship of Halloween theme. So that's super cool. And we'll now cut to Mr. Fonts and see what he thinks about this lovely little design. So, Mr. Fonts, what do you think of the spider?
Well, I think it's pretty good. The I respect all the pointy angles. It's actually pretty creepy in a way. Yeah, find it pretty creative with the back of the thing here. The thorax, is it called?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the spider thread. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've already seen screenshots of this one hanging from buildings. It looks really cool.
Yeah, and the use of the decals is definitely good.
Yeah, I was about to say, any comments on the decals, because they've got put a lot of effort into it on the legs for sure, and the back of the body as well.
Yeah, definitely, and also the bolt placement making it. But no, those are decals too.
Yeah, some of them are bolts, some of them are decals.
Yeah, definitely attention to detail.
I was saying to Cody, how about the little like mechanical bolts that made from the decals to make the legs look all mechanical? It's just really good.
So it's like a robot spider.
Yeah.
Endo spider.
Did you get? I haven't shown you the inside yet, have you? Do you want to jump in the cockpit? You can check that out as well. Dum. I'll drop you down since it's easier to see the buttons that way.
Yeah.
You are now spider food.
Nice. This I actually quite like the all the button layout. How easy it is to access.
It's a nice simple layout. I mean, you can't fly it from in there, but it's a very nice, simple, easy layout. If you need to adjust anything, and you can just straight up adjust it.
Exactly. It's pretty good. Yeah, nice, easy layout. Generator right here, so I don't want to get shot. Want no one trying to take out the spider.
Yeah, thankfully we're still in the safe zone, so we don't have to worry too much about that. Although, to be fair, the spider itself does not fly very fast, thanks to the fact that it's only got the maneuvering thrusters on the back. No main thrusters whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it is stealthy in that regard.
Exactly.
So it'll creep up on you like a good little spider.
Don't want your spiders moving too fast.
That's some horror movie stuff right there.
Exactly, yeah.
Alright, next up we have The Candy Corn by Gat. Now, I had to look this one up. Being British, we don't have candy corns. So this one was a bit of a puzzle when it showed up in the entries. I was like, what the hell is that supposed to be? But it is some sort of confectionery sweet. So, yeah, it looks exactly like what the sweet's supposed to look like. Nice split 3 different colours. It's very Halloween themed colours as well, which I thought was pretty appropriate. And yeah, I think most of the focus here has gone into getting the shape exactly right and keeping it fully plated so it looks solid, which is a fair effort. Certainly a damn sight faster than the spider, that's for sure though. What do you think?
I quite like this ship. I gotta say, just like the candy corn in real life, I'm sure this would taste very good. But I could also say that this wouldn't. Just looking at it, with a little bit of a adjustment, you could probably make this be a good fighter.
Oh, a little pocket fighter.
Exactly, a little spooky, sweet fighter. And if you look at the cockpit, it already looks like a fighter cockpit.
Yeah, it feels like it's a cockpit, like either slightly repurposed to fit this ship, or like just taken from like what they had on hand that they knew worked really well. What I found quite interesting, if you jump in and you look at the middle button and just see what that says.
Ah, I see. Yes, that would this does tend to cause cavities.
Yep.
I would know.
Yeah, all the other buttons are just not assigned to anything, so they just light up really nicely. But yeah, the middle button says cavity. Push for cavity. This is really cool. No decals on this as far as I can tell. Just the one additional hatch at the top here for the generator, although no handle. So if the generators run out, and you've got to push a button to activate. It's going to need power, so that's just a little bit there that doesn't quite work if you're out of power, but these are Halloween ships. They're not meant for just general use, so it's pretty cool. What do you think of this little creation?
Oh. I actually I think it's quite a nice little ship, really, in terms of how it is as a ship, and from what I can tell, it does look quite like a candy corn. So that's always good, looking like what it is.
Yeah, very easy to tell what it is if you know what a candy corn is.
Exactly. Yeah, but I like how cleanly plated it is. Like, really well done on the plating.
Yeah, there you go. Let's try picking up all the plates now just to see which ones we used. Oh, nice little wedge ship here. There you go. Oh, that's the corner. That's the same piece as the spider leg used on the top bit here.
Oh, it is.
See, look at that. Very creative.
That's pretty good.
Very creative use.
Yeah.
Cool. Did you want to see in the cockpit for this one? There's a nice little Easter egg in the cockpit.
Well, let's see if I notice it. Surely I notice it. I could be blind.
Check the middle button.
What does that do?
What does it say?
Oh, okay.
Cavity.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cockpit, while very sleek looking, does seem to be a kind of like maybe a module they've reused, because the buttons are kind of nothing's set to anything. Obviously, it doesn't really have anything to be set to. But
yeah, good modularity for that though.
Yeah, lots
of
of options available should you wish to set some crazy stuff up. Maybe add some weapons. Attack the candy corns.
That would definitely give some ships cavities, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the cavity button could be the shoot button for any weapons that you possibly could attach to this. That would be pretty scary indeed. On to our next submitted one, we have the undead looking dragon, which is called Bubbles. Quite the non-scary name there. I love it. But yeah, really decorative piece, this one. It's nearly not a ship in the slightest, which is just amazing to me. It's like the basics are there to get it flying, and that's it. The rest is all shape for the look of the ship, which is a really cool. You kind of got this plating for like the body, and it just like turns into these bones and ribs. The wings, completely bones with beams and white plating. And then you've got this head where you've got like bolts here to kind of just show where the eyes are going to be, which is pretty cool. And one special feature, get in the way of these beams, it's got a mouth with teeth. That's fantastic. Plenty of fuel as well. It's kind of like its guts, its belly, full of fuel. What do you think, Cody?
I think this is really nice. Privately earlier, I said that this reminded me of that one bone dragon from How to Train Your Dragon. But looking at it now with the red highlighting, it also reminds me of this one Monster Hunter dragon called Vel'Hazak. I think it fits Vel'Hazak quite nicely. Very kind of fleshy but almost undead looking.
I'm gonna have to look up pictures of those now, so I know what you're talking about. I am wondering if the decals are meant to be like a transition to where you used to have red skin, or do you reckon it's blood?
I reckon it's kind of a bit of both.
Might be a bit of both. But yeah, I was thinking because it's all along the edges of the black and nowhere else. It's like where it's been torn open. It's lost all its skin. And the whole inside is red as well. Inside the belly of the beast. It's very cool. Yeah, other than that, not too many decals on this one. Just like the last one. Very decal light. but used to good effect, I think. They've got a specific thing they were trying to do with the decals, and I think they did it really well.
Yep.
Also a nice
One.
a nice cop-out, so they didn't have to try and plate these wings to look like wings. They could just put the bones, and it's a bit easier.
Yeah, just like candy corn. Very simple, but very effective.
Yeah. And Mr. Fonts, what do you think of our lovely little dragon here?
Definitely very creepy with the rib cage and the bone wings.
Oh yeah, it's like the undead dragon of doom.
Exactly. It's almost like a Nazgul from The Hobbit, you know?
Yeah, I was saying to Cody, the red decals along all of the plate work kind of look like blood, where it's like the skin's been ripped off.
Yeah, I do quite like that.
Which is a really, really nice attention to detail.
Also, how the inside, all the stuff on the inside's red as well, looking like
all
guts.
red and guts and glory. And of course, the nice little trick for this one. Not only a mouth, but
Opening the
teeth as well.
Exactly.
Just brilliant.
Don't want to get bitten by this one.
Missed opportunity for guns, though, I think, in the middle there.
Although it is, yeah, it could have a guns down at the back. That would have been all right. Breathing fire or something.
Yeah, I mean, if we only had the flamethrower, we could have like had someone in there like put fire out while we open the gate, or open the hinge for the jaw. That would have been really cool.
That would have been pretty neat, eh?
But yeah, this one, despite the crazy placement of all the maneuvering thrusters over the body that are all made to fit the body, it still flies, which is pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. The bones.
Alright, moving on to our final submission now, and we have Broomhilda, and this one is by Prometheus. And by far the biggest entry we had for this competition. It is just utter chaos how crazy this thing is. What's your initial impressions, Cody?
Big. Aside from that, this has a lot of little details you can see with the plate. The little red accents here with the thin floor plate. The wart and what looks to be snot.
Yeah, and the tongue as well. It's crazy. Like different coloured teeth. I think there's like 3 shades of teeth in there, which is really cool.
All different lengths.
All different lengths. There's like snot. There's the pimple. There's the eyes with the decal. All the plate shaped to make it kind of look like a witch, and it's a pretty well done effect for building a face. Like, I wouldn't even want to think how and where they started with this, let alone the witch's hat, which is pulled off very nicely. It looks very slick, including the little bend at the top.
I can tell you that this must have been hard to pull off.
Oh yeah, you do all sorts of shapes with your ships, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially without attachment plates, this is really impressive.
And then the cape as well, made out of usable radiators. Like they're all cabled and piped up, which is really
functional.
Cool. Yeah.
And aesthetic.
So this ship also has one extra thing, which I didn't do to it just to fly it here without having the errors. But around the ship, to make it look like how it was designed, there is actually these little X's on the ship in various places, and it's actually meant to be damaged. And of course we're in the safe zone, so I can't do it here. God damn it. We'll sneak across the safe zone in just a moment. But yeah, this is supposed to have like tears and holes in the cape so you can see through. And I tested this out in the editor. It looked pretty cool, and I forgot we're in the safe zone here. But we're right by the border, so we'll fly over in just a minute to have a look at the final look. The broomstick with handles it's just amazing for me. Like the fact with that and the fingers, and they're not all just like the exact same finger copied. There's like the little finger is slightly different. And then they've still got thrusters and everything on the ship, and it flies fine. It's just crazy.
There on the boots here, you can see that it even has texturing that they did with the floor plate.
Yeah, that's something I was going to mention. The whole back end of the ship is not ignored in the slightest. There's actually heels on the boots. And it's all done with floor plates, and it looks like the bottom of a shoe or a boot. And that's just crazy. The straw as well. I hate to think how many iterations of this they kind of went through and trying to get this to like look right and not too orderly, but not too kind of random. It causes plating issues. Looks really cool, and none of it obviously gets in the way of the thrusters themselves, which is very, very cool. So yeah, a whole actual flying broom. Although all the thrust doesn't come just from here, it also comes from the witch's butt, which has 3 box thrusters sticking out. But just enough, pardon the pun, to remain balanced. Now we've got one little hidden hatch here, so you can actually go in. And it says toes go in first. We can actually line up, I think, just about. Come on. It's a tight
You can
fit.
do it.
There we go. And we can actually get inside the witch. Unfortunately, we can't get inside the head, which I thought would be the coolest thing. If we could squeeze in there, but none of these. I've tried as hard as I can to get through any of these holes, but I've just not been able to squeeze my way through. Oh! Although Cody's got halfway there. Oh, with manual twisting. I don't know if he's going to be able to get out. You've got tons of space in here. You might... I don't know if you could, but you might be able to fit a warp core in here. Which would be hilarious. Being able to go through the gate as a witch would just be just crazy. Right.
Probably could if you remove these beams here.
They might be critical beams, actually, considering they're the only ones going forwards away from the thrusters. Let's close that up. Nice to see the doesn't over-close when you close it. All the generator setup is on the stick itself, and again they've used that as an excuse to add more detail to the broom itself, which looks really cool. And then thrusters up front as well as all the controls. Unfortunately, you can't get out the front, it spits you out behind, but there is a passenger seat. So you can have like a captain and pilot, and there's also a hole up top here so you actually can get out the ship. So that's pretty cool.
Also, I love the backup generators, just in case he gets stranded.
Oh yeah, you gotta have those extra generators. And easily accessible again as well, so that's actually a little bit of a bonus. I kind of wonder if it should have had like a cap end to it. Either just a straight glass kind of canopy, or if it should have like just a flat cap end with a small hole that you can see through, just to kind of round off the broomstick look.
Honestly, the canopy dome painted brown would look really good in LOD.
Yes, that's another thing. Yeah, LOD, this thing is going to look very, very different without a lot of the details. But yeah, if you had whenever you paint glass in Starbase, the LOD will just paint that as normal plates in that color until you get closer, and it loads in as see-through. Yeah, very, very cool. I didn't even think you could make something like this. It just looking at it feels like it should be massively off balance, and you'd never get this thing to fly. And that's just a feat of engineering by itself, I think, just to get this thing to fly straight. It's just crazy. So, any other thoughts, Cody?
No, I think I said it all.
Cool. Oh, I just noticed there's a red collar as well, made out of the
I just noticed that.
made out of the metallic decals painted red. Oh, there's so many little details you find on this thing. Alright, what we'll do is we'll move it out of the safe zone and we'll knock those holes through so you can see what it's supposed to look like, and then we'll get a response from Mr. Fonz. Here's the new safe zone visualization, of course. Hopefully this doesn't invite some pirates to come try and kill us or blow up the ship before we're finished. Come on, let me out. There we go. Alright, now we're safely out. Do you have a pickaxe at all?
That I do.
Yeah, if you hit the pickaxe exactly on those red X's, you will see what it's supposed to look like. Which I think is another like design step that they've taken that I haven't seen pretty much anyone do, because it's near suicide to do it on any ship normally. And that's build in areas where your ship is supposed to be damaged for the looks. And I think that's just one extra step this ship's given, I think, to really push its design. So here we go. So we've got this kind of clip on here where it's just kind of torn through the clothes of this witch. And you can see they've put a green layer on the other side to represent her skin. You've got the same on the back here, just torn through, and then on the other side here as well, a nice big gash. It just adds to the whole look. So much has been thought about in the design of this one. It's really, really crazy to actually have damaged sections on purpose. Super, super cool. Hopefully they're flying this one around today on Halloween itself. It should be pretty fun to fly around and spook people at the origin stations with a flying witch. So, Mr. Fonts, over to you. Your thoughts, please. Big ships is your speciality.
Yeah, I do respect the big ships. Yeah, all the effort that goes into them, and especially this one, it's got lots of curves on it, which is always difficult.
Oh yeah.
Lots of ribbing as well on the broom, making it look like, I don't know, it's a souped up broom.
Souped up power broom for the witch that needs that extra speed. The teeth are all like rotted with like 3 or 4 different colors. And there's a tongue.
Also the bolters freckles as well, and spots.
You got that huge wall. I also eyes. So good.
Yeah. I also enjoy how they use the radiators to show to make it look like the capes in the wind.
Oh yeah, and these are all working radiators. They're all piped and cabled. So this is like functional as well as like part of the artistic design. Yeah,
pretty good.
Which is
incorporating
nuts.
that in.
I think it's nuts. I didn't even know you could make them this long. Like I've made some long ones before, but this is like crazy long. And then if you look at the feet, there's even
they got a sole on them too.
There's even heels and like a sole pattern on the bottom, which is just crazy.
It's like it's dirty as well.
Yeah. And then you've got like the
pretty
broom,
good attention to detail.
The broom bit at the back with all like the straw and whatnot.
Yeah,
it's really nicely done.
Yeah, the straw is pretty good. Yeah, lots of effort definitely put into some of the details on this one. The plate work.
Yeah, like everything. Like, I would say the only downside is the there was no plating put on the fingers, so it kind of looks like she's got skeletal fingers. So it's like half witch, half undead, maybe. So yeah, any final thoughts on this one? Any particular bits that stand out for you?
Well, the face, definitely the face, the plate work in there, definitely stands out.
Yeah, I can't imagine how much work this would have needed to completely work out.
Also the hat, the hat's pretty complex up here.
Yeah, I've no idea what voodoo magic they use to get all this plating to work and hold properly, but it looks fantastic.
Whatever it is, it works.
Yep. And the brim of the hat is really clean as well. Really nicely
Good
done.
plate work
did you see the cockpit area as well? So the very,
I did.
Very
at the front
of the broom. The only problem is
ram any asteroids.
To get out, it pushes you backwards. While there is a secondary seat here, you have to jump out through the hole in the wall. That's the only downside there, is that you can't just get straight out.
Yeah, but it's pretty good though.
So here we have all 4 of our competitors. Now, me and the judges are going to now deliberate on which one we think should be crowned the Halloween champion for this year, for the ship design competition. But before that, I do want to thank all of the entries for sending their ships in for this awesome competition. We've got 4 amazing cool little ships, 3 little cool ships and 1 massive cool ship. And yeah, I want to thank you all for taking the time to make the ships and enter and have the community check them out, because I think we're in for a treat with this. I already know the Spider has been released as a free blueprint, and I think the dragon designer is thinking about possibly releasing it free. I'll have to see. If they are in the space between me recording this and me editing it released, I will include the links for them in the description. But first, it's to the judges' deliberation. Back in a bit. This was really, really tough to judge, but in the end it turned out we all picked the same results. So unanimously, in third place, the dragon that just won't die, Bubbles. Really great work from Zytite here, we all loved its mouth opening feature. In second place, the creepiest of crawlies, Hannibal the Spider by Gamali TV. This striking spider stunned us with its venomous design and detail. And so the winner of this year's Halloween competition and your spookiest shipbuilder goes to... Broomhilda by Prometheus. This witch certainly cast a spell on all of us with her many detail features and great design aesthetic. Congratulations! I hope everyone enjoyed seeing these amazing ships the community has come up with, and I hope that you look out for more of the ships from these creators. Until next time, Kenetor, out!